You're now tuned into the Raspy Voice Kids. I'm Brandon Phoenix. You know me better as I also hate Pitt if you're on Twitter, Instagram, maybe even on Facebook. We are joined today by KJ Myers. You probably know him as number 19, the receiver for West Virginia, fifth-year senior when he graduated. That is 2011 to the year 2015. He is now representing low-life culture. He has designed, he has created, and he is the ambassador for this entire movement. KJ, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I definitely appreciate it.
Now, one of the things I like to ask is, you're from Jacksonville, Florida, right?
Correct.
So how was it that you decided to become a Mountaineer?
Well, after my 11th grade football season, I was transferring over to baseball season. So I was headed to baseball practice, and my football coach called me saying, come to my office quick. I got West Virginia coach on the line. He wants to offer you a full ride scholarship. Now, this was my first scholarship offer, so that was a big thing for me that someone actually believed in me and took that chance. So another thing is Noel Devine, one of the greatest running backs to come through West Virginia. Now, me and him played in Pop Warner a long time ago, down when we were both living in Fort Myers, Florida. So that's the only reason why I started even watching West Virginia football, honestly, while I was in high school, because he was still playing.
Yeah, he was the kind of guy you couldn't take your eyes off of. So if you played with him, I'm sure you felt the same way.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely appreciated his game way more than a lot of other people.
We've been trying to get him on the show, so maybe you're the connection. Maybe you can make that happen for us.
Yeah, I can definitely make that happen.
All right, we appreciate you. So you're coming from Jacksonville, a big city compared to anything in the state of West Virginia. When you get to campus, even just for a visit, was it culture shock for you?
Oh, yeah, definitely. It was culture shock. Just coming from the biggest city landmass-wise in Florida and one of the biggest cities just in the United States, to go into a small college town in Morgantown, West Virginia, was a big culture shock. But I'm very adventurous, and I love trying new things and just learning new things, new cultures, etc. So it was nice, and I was happy to get away from my friends and family and my parents who I've been with all my life, and just to get out on my own and just experience life on my own and make my own decisions. So overall, it was definitely a great experience for me.
How long did it take before somebody got you a pepperoni roll?
Well, actually, my first roommate is named Connor Alia. We went and had, I think his parents brought it to us when we were moving into Pierpont, and they kept telling me just everything about this pepperoni roll, how it's just so great, and that's what everyone loves here. So, I mean, it didn't take long at all.
Did you love it?
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice, actually. Probably could have had more cheese in there.
Hey, man, have you been to Parkersburg before?
No, haven't.
So if you're back in West Virginia and you end up in Parkersburg, the pizza place on Dudley Avenue, you cannot beat their pepperoni rolls. You cannot beat their garlic rolls. You can't beat their pizza. It's a little plug. I don't have any affiliation with them, but I'm telling you, you will not worry. You will never complain about not having enough cheese.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to check it out if I ever make it to Parkersburg.
All right, man, check them out. So you wanted to get away from your friends and your family, not because you didn't like them, but just autonomy. You wanted that freedom to be an adult. Was it a complete smooth transition?
Yeah, at first, actually, it was a great transition. I mean, first year, 2011, we went to the Orange Bowl. We beat Clemson. That was amazing. But what a lot of people don't know, right after that, me not knowing anything, we get back to West Virginia to start our 2012 season, and like majority of the coaching staff is gone, especially after Bill Stewart died and then Hogerson took over. He brought in his staff. And so a lot of coaches that either came and sat down in my home and met my parents were just gone. The offensive system that I was brought into to be a part of completely changed. A lot of things was completely changed. So that was a big wake-up call, and one of the things that also played a toll on me in 2013 when I hit the lowest point of my life.
So what all was involved with hitting that low point?
Really, football was the big main thing because it was a roller coaster, and honestly, just being in that system, a lot of people talk about politics and all this stuff when you're in high school, but of course, I wasn't thinking nothing of it then, and a lot of people don't think nothing of it at all until they actually go through it or it actually happens to them. So, really, college football was a big toll. Um, just the lifestyle. I wasn't really happy with the lifestyle there, and then school on top of that. Of course, that's another mandatory thing. You can't just stop that. And
No, no, you got to go to school.
right, but I mean, you're not wanting to because you really wasn't in the mood to really doing anything, honestly. And it got to that point. It got to that point, and
Like a depression.
yeah, pretty much. And me, I never been in that point ever in my life, ever. It was really lack of worries before 2013, honestly. Like, I
But
didn't even.
you didn't have anything to worry about.
Right, I didn't have anything to worry about. Didn't at all.
So then when you did, how'd you pull yourself out of that?
Well, that's when the idea came to me, actually. And at first, when low life came to me, it was just low life lack of worries. It wasn't no life acronym. There wasn't no red balloon or anything. So I was literally just refocusing every day and telling myself and reminding myself lack of worries, just telling myself lack of worries, working on my mentality because my mentality was off during that year. My mentality and my body language was off. So lack of worries is the mentality, which is the first thing I had to master. So after I finally mastered the mentality, that's when I figured out the acronym for life, which is living in fearless efforts, which is the fearless actions that follows after you get your mentality right. And then after I got my actions, I mastered the actions and got my body language back right. That's when the red balloon came to mind. And red symbolizing love and the balloon symbolizing letting go. And I was letting go of anything that led me to get into that low point that I reached and letting go of any worries, fears, doubts, insecurities, anything in the past or anything that was just slowing down my life process, just letting it go.
So how did your teammates respond when you came up with something that? Because obviously there were people I'm sure who could tell that things weren't quite right, that you weren't the same KJ.
Yeah,
How did your
definitely.
teammates, how did your friends and your family respond when they saw what that mentality, that low life mentality, had done for you?
Well, it started to buy in. It started to buy into the concept and they got more curious and wanted to know about more about it and they cared about me a lot. So they seen how passionate I was about it and how much it meant to me and how much it actually really helped me, like really helped me. And they started living that way as well.
So it's, they say that oftentimes where you're from or your family, they sometimes are the last ones to buy in because to them you're just KJ Myers. You're not the CEO of anything, right?
Right. They're not thinking that big of it or anything.
Yeah. But to have your friends, your family, to have your teammates buy in, that had to be pretty special for you.
It definitely was special. I mean, I reminisce and think back to the time when I first got the first low life, lack of words bands. Everybody wanted one. Everyone around me, my teammates, my family, friends, they wanted one. So that was actually the first product I had. But mind you, being a college football player or being in the NCAA, you can't own your own business. You can't have your own business. So it's like the NCAA, they just expect all of us to just go play professionally or something like that. So the first 2 years that I thought of this, I couldn't sell any product at all.
So here you are with good old American ingenuity, hard work,
Yeah.
dedication, and you cannot make a profit. You can't.
Can't make a profit.
That's
Yeah.
frustrating, huh?
Oh, definitely frustrating. Definitely frustrating. And especially after seeing like after I finally was able to sell the huge jump in just the analytics on the numbers, and I'm like, dang, I missed out 2 years of this, but that's fine. They say the first 2 years of a business is really a lot of trial and error and just doing a lot of stuff for
Yeah.
free. Is what I did. Everything was for free, which is what I still do. A lot of stuff for free because before I'm gone, before I die or anything, I just want a lot of people to to really apply this to their lifestyle and add this into whatever purpose they needed in their lives.
Well, we love it, man. You've built a brand. We love it because you did something positive for people. And not a lot of people can say that. Even when people make a lot of money or are successful in some other facet of life, they can't say that they brought positivity to people. You're able to do both.
Yeah.
And that's, we respect it. And as Mountaineer fans, every time I see a red balloon, I connect it to WVU. I remember KJ Myers is a Mountaineer. And KJ, because once a Mountaineer, always a Mountaineer.
Always.
And KJ Myers is now got Markelle Fultz, the #1 draft pick, wearing a Low-Life band. And I see it on Instagram. I see it on ESPN. I see it not just with him, but with all these other athletes, high-profile people. I'm sure you can list who was the guy when they got a Low-Life band or they asked you for one or they had one, you saw it somewhere, you were like, I can't believe they're wearing my brand.
Well, it had to be Markelle Fultz. I mean,
that was #1 for you?
Yeah, because it's crazy how it just all happened. I don't know if you know Terrence Ferguson, but he went first round to Oklahoma City, to the Thunder.
Yeah.
So he's been a big brand ambassador for a while. Like straight out of high school, he went to play professionally in Adelaide, Australia for the Adelaide 36ers. And then he came back over here this previous year, and went first round to OKC Thunder. When they were both coming out of high school, they both played in the USA game together, and they got like a video of them doing a handshake, and then Terrence Ferguson being like low life. They did the L's with their hands and stuff. It's neat. So that's where it all started at, and now just Markelle just stuck with it, and that's what I really appreciate, when people just stay low, for real, because a lot of people change up. That's.
No, the funny thing is, we talk about staying low. When I first saw Low Life, I was thinking, what are these guys doing calling themselves low lives?
Yeah.
We don't need that. And of course, I had to be educated. So I'm glad, it's good to see not Terrence Ferguson doing it, to see Markelle doing it, and to know that you are the generator. That we love that. Do you have anything that you would like for our listeners to see, or can you tell us where they can purchase their Low Life? If they want an armband, if they want a T-shirt, you got the sweatshirt on, looking fresh to death. Where can somebody get fly like you?
Well, yeah, the website is lowlifeculture.com. There's also an app for this lifestyle, and if you go to your app store and you type in Low Life Culture, and that's the space between each word.
Low Life Culture, separate words?
Yeah, separate words. You type that in, you download the app, and once you download it, make sure you turn on your notifications, because that's the real big thing on the app, is just the random notifications, because you never know when you could need just some positivity or inspiration or motivation. And the Instagram account is THE Low Life Culture, and the Twitter is LL Culture. The Snapchat is Low Life Culture. And you can find me on social media. I am Low Life KJ.
Low Life KJ. I am Low Life KJ. You got to find him. Look, you got the bands up. So make sure you go out and get those. Support a former Mountaineer. Once a Mountaineer, always a Mountaineer. Spreading positivity, good vibes. So if you want to be a part of the movement, you can be a part of the movement. More than anything, though, we're just grateful that you're willing to come on and share your experience with us. Talk about what it was like to be a Mountaineer, even the hard parts. A lot of times we hear the glory, we don't hear the hard parts. So we appreciate you talking to us about what that kind of struggle is, and thank you for giving us your time, KJ.
Thank you. I definitely appreciate the platform.
Hey, man. Hey, and make sure you stay checking up on the Raspy Voice kids, man. We're trying to live the same way.
I see you guys. I will.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Low.
Thanks for listening and watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Check the links in the description for all our other media outlets.
And no matter what you do, no matter what you heard, no matter what we said, don't forget, we also hate Pitt.